Thank you for watching Live and Local KWN TV. Welcome to Sheriff's Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV 7. Join us every week as we talk various aspects of law enforcement and how important it is for the citizens and law enforcement to work together. Now join us for another edition of Sheriff Talk on KWN Live and Local TV Channel 7.
And good day, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. We welcome Dade County, a couple of Dade County's finest here, Sheriff Ray Cross, Captain Chambers with the Dade County Detention Facility. They're going to be with us this hour. We're going to be talking about several things and bringing you up to date on a few of the things that have been happening over here the last several days. Good day, Sheriff.
Good morning, Evan. How are you?
Al, doing good. And Captain, we appreciate you appreciate you being here. And for those of you at home, we thank you very much for tuning in for this week's edition. We'll start talking about several things that's happened in law enforcement over the last several days. One that has just happened in Marion County. I talked with Sheriff Bo Burnett earlier today. He regrets he was not able to be here today, but his department has went through a great number of arrests. Matter of fact, 33, and we're going to talk about it on today's show with Sheriff Cross. 33 drug arrests ranging from methamphetamine to hydrocodone to all kinds of different drugs. And this has been a 6-month investigation by his drug division in Marion County. And once again, the sheriff was unable to be here with us today, but he will be here on future shows, and we're going to talk with him specifically about the cases. But his drug division has been working this. And this, if you may recall, is really the second in the last year or so where they had a numerous roundup at one time. It happened early in the morning. And went all over the county and made these drug arrests. But there is definitely seems to be a continued problem. What the Sheriff Burnett was talking about was low-level distribution, low-level drug dealers that are working in the communities. It's not just a Marion County problem. It's not a Jackson County problem. It's not a Dade County problem. Not Hamilton County, DeKalb County. It's a county problem everywhere around the area. Out of the 33 that was arrested, there were 7 also charged with TennCare fraud, and allegedly they were getting medications fraudulently. Which is TennCare fraud is a felony by itself, but 7 of those were also charged with getting the medications fraudulently through the TennCare system and then reselling them, which is another felony as well. So today on the program, Sheriff, I want to talk with you about that and some of the things that we've got to be able to. And I know that we've done the same thing here. You've had numerous drug arrest this past week. A couple of weeks has been Bonnaroo, and we'll talk about that. You had a number of arrests there that was related to drugs. So we're going to talk about that. Some other things that's going on in law enforcement. They just recently had a academy here in Dade County, a law enforcement academy that the sheriff put on, graduates there. He's got some new candidates for the that's just graduated the peace officers training post, if you will, got their certification to be certified and sworn deputies, and we'll talk to them about that. So there's going to be a lot coming up here on Sheriff Talk. So just sit back, relax. We'll be on an hour right here on KWN TV. More Sheriff Talk right after this.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mosey on over to the Cozy Corner on Sand Mountain. Cozy Corner is your one-stop shop for unique gifts and valued treasures. At Cozy Corner, you can shop through numerous booths to find exactly what you're looking for. Antiques to new, there's something for you at the Cozy Corner. The Cozy Corner is open at the crossroads, top of Sand Mountain, Highway 136 West at 301. Now open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 6, Friday and Saturday, 10 till 6 at the Cozy Corner. Come help us celebrate our grand opening July the 16th at the Cozy Corner.
Hey, Martin, my lawn could use some help.
Okay, Scott's Fertilizer. We got it right here.
Hey, Martin, you got any birdseed?
Of course, right here. Hey, Ross, you need some help?
Oh, no, just got some of your mail.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Right now at Case Ace Hardware, get Home Defense Max Insect Killer, $5.99 a gallon with your Ace Rewards card. Get a 20-volt DeWalt cordless compact drill set, just $99.99. And Ace Wild Bird Food, 2 20-pound bags, just $12. June red hot buys right now at Case Ace Hardware, 11665 South Main Street in Trenton. HVAC repair and service you can count on from S&S Service Company, a locally owned and operated business that uses high-quality materials on every job. Call on our crews for regular maintenance, minor repairs, and new installations. Spurgeon is a name that's been trusted for decades, so if you need an energy-efficient HVAC system, we've got you covered with Arco Air products. Arco Air and S&S Service Company, enduring performance. S&S is fully licensed and serves the Northeast Alabama and surrounding area. Call 256-632-2500 today for S&S Service Company for your HVAC needs. Online at snsservicecompany.com. Big Daddy's Outdoors, Highway 72, Bridgeport, Alabama. A hunting and fishing store operated by true sportsmen. Your real outdoor store for guns, clothing, and archery equipment. We know what we're talking about, unlike those guys at the big box stores. In fact, we have the best archery tech in the Southeast. Come see us at Big Daddy's Outdoors for top-notch brands in hunting and fishing equipment. Big Daddy's Outdoors, 52680 Highway 72, Bridgeport, Alabama.
Hey, this is Pat Rose of Set the Hook. Make your plans to come to Big Daddy's Outdoors, Bridgeport, Alabama.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. It's a weekly television show that really talks about law enforcement and things that are going on in the communities of North Alabama and Southeast Tennessee and here in North Georgia. And, of course, on the set with us this week is Dade County Sheriff Ray Cross. He's back. He was back a week before last after the election, but he's back as a regular part of the program now. And like we said at the beginning of the program, Sheriff Burnett unable to be here today, but his department going through another major roundup of what they're calling low-level distribution drug dealers, distributors in the Marion County area. There was 33 of them arrested. 7 of them also charged with 10-care fraud. And he says one of the main things that they're dealing with is pills. And folks are overdosing on these pills. They're selling these pills, and the hydrocodone and the different type of pills seems to be a big problem, along with the other drugs like methamphetamine and LSD and the different things like that. But we've talked about it week after week in some fashion on this show, but those low-level dealers that are everywhere, it seems to be a way of life to them.
Yeah, it is, Evan. We've just had a female arrested here last week, as a matter of fact, up off 299. She was bringing drugs into the county and got caught by Casey York, one of our canine officers, and just had her out there today talking to her, and she told me, she said, "Sheriff, I've been bringing drugs in your county for 18 years. Of course, I haven't been a sheriff for 18 years, but I said, well, I'm glad you told me that. I'll be sure and tell the judge that. So that's the kind of some of the people we're dealing with that are bringing drugs into this county. And like I say, over and over and over, I want to send a clear message that they, if we catch them, they're going to jail, and we're going to try our best to send them to prison, especially if they're dealing here in the county.
That's one thing that Sheriff Bo Burnett was talking about in the interview that you the folks may have saw, is the fact that he don't want them in Marion County. They just they don't want that type of activity. Yeah, he said on here on this program before that one drug house can destroy a community.
Sure, I agree, and it gets into our school system and everything else. And as we was talking a while ago, Captain and you about down around the Atlanta area, you can go down there and just get about anything you want, and some of it's fronted to you. So, these drugs are plentiful, and it's just amazing how it ruins people's lives.
Well, it's a domino effect, and how you fix that problem, unless you make the sentences longer and harder, where you don't want to go to jail because of, you can't get a job if you take drugs. You can't get past the drug test to actually get a job. But I mean, that goes back to personal responsibility.
Well, the problem is seem like in this country we're getting softer on everything as far as punishment wise. You look at our drug problem, the sentences are not near like they used to be. It's even, some of the laws in our surrounding states and counties, instead of arresting people, now they're writing them citations. And we even see it in our juvenile system, how the laws are just getting softer and softer. And that just makes the criminals, see that there's no circumstance or no consequence to the crimes that they're committing.
Is it getting softer, in your opinion, because there's more of them and they don't know what to do with them? Or is it a combination?
In my opinion, it comes down to a money factor. I think that, when we do have to arrest these people and stuff, we haven't had a place to put them, and they're just, trying to watch the money as far as building prisons, for overcrowding and stuff like that. So I think it's really comes down to a money issue.
Well, that's a sad note, because as we continue to, it continues to evolve, and I know, Captain Chambers, you operate one of those detention facilities, and I know for the last number of months you have been close to capacity.
Yeah.
And doesn't, which I guess you can look at it two different ways. Doesn't seem going to be letting up anytime soon. There's got to be a deterrent. And if you take away that deterrent, then they're going to continue to do a lifestyle that they feel comfortable with.
And we focused on a few things inside the facility as far as trying to make it to where you're just not sitting there doing time. We're trying different stuff, everything that we know to do, or that's every possibility that's afforded to us. To try to rehab or, try to keep them from, coming back in, take a different look, a different approach at life. But again, it just depends on the individual program. The individual person, as to, what they do with it. If there was a fix, then we wouldn't be dealing with a problem. The softer, gentler, kinder approach, that's I don't think that's going to work out either. Unfortunately, I just hope we don't pay a bigger price here, 8-10 years down the road for that approach.
The amount of drugs, some would say probably we always have had a drug issue, a criminal issue, or whatever. Do you really feel like that there may be more, and I'm gonna use the term of the lower level distributor, more small distributors now than they've ever been?
Absolutely.
I think so, especially with the methamphetamine and the pill problem. Yeah, I think by far, much bigger problem with low level dealers.
The shake and bake one pot method. I know our trash cleanup crew. Excuse me. Back 2009, 2010, we were picking them labs up left and right off the roadway. I think this year, so far, I've just seen one lab has been reported as found on the side of the road. So, the drug usage hadn't let up. The only logical explanation for that is, the drugs filtering in, like the sheriff said, through Atlanta, is more readily accessible. And then, of course, you got the pill epidemic. As long as we're still prescribing or still have the clinics for, that's going to be ongoing also.
Well, Evan, as far as the methamphetamines are concerned, you used to have the big meth labs that they'd set up in houses or barns or whatever. It went from that to the one pot operation where they do it in a 2-liter Coke bottle, and to now it's even got away from that to now it's pre-made. These cartels are shipping this ice and methamphetamines up through, like I say, from the Florida area or Texas up to Atlanta, and it's distributed there already made.
Well, we got another break coming up here in a couple of minutes, but I want to touch on that because it seems like the criminal element stays, or they're out thinking ahead, because you're talking about the one pot meth labs. Mm-hmm. The state legislatures in Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama enacted new laws to restrict the ingredients and the amount of ingredients that you could buy over the counter. Mm-hmm. And that seemed to take care of the problem, but that yet they just moved to a different thing. And we're going to take another break, but I want to come back and pick up on that to talk about it, is trying to stay ahead of what they're thinking next. Sheriff Talk is on the air. We're talking about the criminal element and what seems to be just a vast amount of people that want to violate the law by dealing drugs and ruining families. We'll have more on Sheriff Talk coming up.
Handyman Salvage is your home improvement headquarters with thousands of square feet of hardware, plumbing, electrical supplies, all under one roof at our new location at Highway 136 West behind the Kangaroo just off I-59. While you're there, check out our prices on custom-built cabinets. And we have a full selection of office supplies now at Handyman Salvage. Make sure to ask about discounts for contractors and builders. Handyman Salvage, where we sell lumber. Handyman Salvage, Highway 136 West behind the Kangaroo just off I-59 Trenton.
They're moms, dads. They're part of your community. They live on your street. They employ your neighbors. They're America's 12,000 Allstate agents. They live near you, they know what you need, and they're there to help protect you, to put you in good hands. There's an Allstate agent right here in your community.
Dobbins Supermarket, serving the community for over 70 years with fresh cut meats and a full line of grocery items. At Dobbins Supermarket, you'll find local home folks serving the area's weekly grocery needs. Dobbins Supermarket, Highway 71 in Higdon.
This week's specials at Dobbins: fresh pork ribs, $2.99 a pound. Fresh split chicken breast, $1.39 a pound. Oscar Mayer bologna, pound pack, 2 for $3. And Carolina fried bacon, 2 12-ounce packs, only $3 this week at Dobbins.
Attention small business owners. Want to save money on your employee health insurance plan? Learn the little-known solution that could save thousands of dollars on your health insurance benefits and save your employees money, too. Call Health Markets for a free consultation, and one of our 3,000 local agents will show you how to make healthcare reform work for you. We'll design customized solutions for your business that can lower healthcare costs for you and your employees. We'll work directly with you to determine your needs. We search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide. You'll also find out if tax credits could save you money. Best of all, the service is free of charge. See why Health Markets has enrolled Americans in more than 2 million insurance policies. You don't have to wait for open enrollment to lower your cost. Call now. Find out how much you and your employees could be saving.
Call 800-603-9983. 800-603-9983. 800-603-9983. 800-603-9983.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV as we roll through another edition this week. We're glad starting this week marks the first official week of summer. Summer arrived this week, and we had the longest day of the year on Monday. And I told someone this morning when we were on the morning show, I said it's all downhill from now, from here, because it was the longest day of the year yesterday. Right. Depending on when you're watching, but this is the kickoff officially of what the calendar anyway talks about summer coming in this week. Unfortunately, we're talking about some things that happen summer and fall and winter and spring, and all 4 seasons don't really affect that much. And of course, that is the circulation of drugs, and they are killing families. They are devastating families and keeping law enforcement busy. And Sheriff, we were talking when we went to the break that the laws were not on your side for a while. That folks could be able to go, we're talking specifically about methamphetamine, but they were able to go and buy the ingredients that to do the one-pot shake and bake meth labs, or set up the elaborate meth labs by going to various convenience stores or various over-the-counter where you could get the pseudoephedrine and the ephedrine and the things that go into the ingredients, the Drano and stuff like that. But over time, they changed those laws.
Yeah, in the past there's no restriction on Sudafed and Coleman fuel and stuff like that. The ingredients they used to make methamphetamines, and when they did come out with those laws and restricted it, it made it harder for the cooks to get purchase those items to make methamphetamine. So that did help in a way. And then we've seen it going over to synthetic marijuana, the packets that they were selling in convenience stores that targeted kids with the cartoon-like labels on them and stuff. Whenever they would go and bust those and take them off the shelf, all they had to do was come up with just change one ingredient in that package that our lawmakers would have to come up with another law to cover that. So that was a battle for a while until they outlawed all of it. So that helped us out again. But it seems like you're right. The criminals will keep researching, trying to find a loophole around some of these laws, and it's a daily battle.
Well, the laws of the city of pseudoephedrine and the things that you could buy over the counter were now, if you notice, you have to sign when you buy certain type of things. They have to keep them behind. This is all because of the criminal element buying things to make drugs, and that has moved them into no longer making. A lot of them don't make their own drugs anymore. No. They buy it.
That's right, and that takes that away, and they don't have to go through that problem anymore. They just go straight to some of the surrounding counties and buy it, or get somebody to deliver it here. So that's what we're focusing on is trying to stop these dealers coming into our county. And we on a daily basis we're making arrests every day from out of state tags that are coming in here, and people dropping these drugs off, and we're going to continue to.
It's a better quality than the one pot or shake and bake. What they're getting now, it's a lot purer form.
Well, the one pot or the big elaborate methamphetamine labs, if you will, was very costly.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't just bag all that up and leave. You got to the homeowner. A lot of times they're mostly rented places. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of dollars to go in and make it livable again, especially when there's children involved. The cleanup crews that y'all were having to pay to come in and do that, because it's a specialized law enforcement unit that had to come in and do that.
Right, and had to take it to a special place to dump it and all that. Back then, when these big meth labs were going on, you could take $160 and make $1,600, profit off of this stuff. So it was very beneficial to do that. And of course, now it's got down to where all you have to do now is purchase it and then resell it, and that's even more money for them. So it's all, a lot of it's about the money.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing, but the laws seem to have caught up, and you don't see as many clandestine type of labs or someone being able to make that. Used to, I know that being right here on the state line and Marion County and Jackson, DeKalb, we're all right here interchangeable, that you'd see Tennessee tags here and you would see Georgia tags over there, or Alabama tags, different places, buying and going to all these different places where they wouldn't be caught going to one place and buying everything, all their ingredients in one.
Or they'd send different people, they'd have 4 or 5 people working a meth lab, and they'd send 4 or 5 different, maybe the same place, they'd be in one car, and they go in different times and purchase these things. So they have their ways around the law.
Well, just recently we had the Bonnaroo through here, and I know that Bonnaroo and Riverbend was going on at the same time, and the Lookout Mountain Drug Task Force did what I would consider, I guess, a concentrated effort or concentrated patrol in this area, and in one evening, 22 arrests.
25.
25 different arrests, drug arrests.
Well, that, we step up during Bonnaroo and things like that, Talladega or whatever. We step up patrol because, there's more traffic on the roadways, and we know that because of more traffic in some of these events they go to, there's going to be higher volume of drug activity going through the county. So we try to put officers out there that's going to help combat this problem. And we made 25 arrests. I think 40 of those were felony arrests, around 20 misdemeanors. So it's very, beneficial to the county to get these off the street.
Well, and I do know that Chattanooga also had some significant amount of drugs that they confiscated for some traffic stops that they did with folks going through and traveling. And we've seen over the years, we've seen, I think I remember one case where one of the troopers stopped a vehicle and had $340,000 worth of money in the car. And along with drugs. I mean, that's well,
last week I think was the highest our population's been in the jail from years ago. We had close to 105 incarcerated, and but back then when we did have years ago when there was a higher population, that's because we housed prisoners from other counties. But this time this was all our own prisoners, so we were about at max capacity last week on these arrests.
And out of everybody, and Captain Chambers, I'll ask you, got 105 in jail. How many is directly related to drugs?
Very easy, 90%.
We sit and talk about it, but that ought to wake the community up. We have a major problem because the folks in jail, whether they're just users or they're distributors on a small level or even a bigger level, they are destroying lives and destroying families.
Yeah, Evan, on those arrests that Captain's talking about, a lot of those too are probation violations, right. But the original charge was a drug charge. Now they may have didn't follow up or didn't report or something like that, and so probation revoked their probation and they're back in jail. But the actual original charge was a drug violation on most of them.
Well, there again, the judicial system. I mean, there's avenues where you can, get convicted and do some time, and they'll let you out on probation to see if you've been rehabilitated. But unfortunately, time and time again, we're seeing that those folks that got the 5 years probation, within a year or 2 years are right back in the same situation. And now they need to serve that. If they originally got 5 years and they get a second chance, they need to go back and serve those 5 years.
Yeah. Time tells on them. They'll majority of them, when they're fixed to get out of jail, they'll tell me, I'm through, I'm not coming back. And I tell them, I say, well, talk's cheap. Don't tell me, show me. And we'll have them back in within usually a month or so. They'll be back in jail.
Surroundings, familiarity. I keep hearing y'all talk about, especially when it comes to drugs, don't go and get around the same people.
Exactly. You got to change your friends. You got to change your atmosphere, your surroundings.
Somebody, typical person, they handle bad news or bad events that happen to them. Everybody deals with that differently. Everybody deals with grief differently. A lot of times, the drug is an escape, and like the Sheriff said, you get out of jail, you have something bad happen to you, you're still in your familiar surroundings, right where the dope man is or the dope men. And that's the easy escape of reality. Just run down and get a line, take a pill, whatever, and escape the reality of dealing with whatever situations that is in front of you.
A lot of people realize that they think the situations are a whole lot more devastating than they actually are.
Yeah, and these people that we have in jail, mostly, especially from our county, that are arrested for drug charges, are good people.
Yeah.
They just get hooked up in this problem of drugs, and they just don't know how to get out of it. And like I was eating breakfast this morning, a guy told me, he said, we got some of the best, and I'd use this term loosely, crooks of any jail around. I said, well, we do. We have good people. I wouldn't call them crooks, but they're, they've committed crimes and with drugs, and they just need a way to, try to get out of it. But we do, for the most part, at least especially from our county, are good guys and girls that just made mistakes, and we're trying to get them off these things as much as we can, and especially with our Celebrate Recovery program and stuff like that, to get them rehabilitated back into a productive member of society.
A user, to me, and of course I know the charge is different, but a user that someone gets caught with a possession charge with a small amount of any type of drug, like you said, a lot of folks look to the wrong things to be able to help them through situations that they feel like that they need or the right thing. So you got that level of a drug abuser or a drug user that don't maybe not realize that they may be somebody that took the wrong path. But if somebody's actually selling a drug to another person, that's a different level.
That's a different level, sure is.
Because I don't care if they're a small, just starting and, I do enough to supplement my income. That one time that you sell that drug to someone could end their life.
Right. That's right. Nowadays, people lace drugs with other drugs, and that can be a deadly combination, and we see it all the time.
Well, we're talking about what sparked the conversation today on Sheriff Talk this week. Marion County officials, 33 people, they put in a roundup of sorts through their drug interdiction plan there in Marion County, and that a lot of them, and Sheriff Bo Burnett tells us that a lot of them were low-level distributors, or and they were distributing these drugs to the folks, and they basically got them off the street. So that's some good news. But the fact that he's now got 105 folks and 90% of them are tied up with some type of drug charge or has had drug charges in the past. So we're talking about today here on Sheriff Talk. We'll be back. More to come. Stay with us as the program continues.
Hey, if you're looking for that next new-to-you vehicle, you really need to head to Cloud Auto Sales now, where the inventory is great and the deals are even better. Passenger cars, minivans, trucks, and SUVs. Some cars with prices starting as low as $2,995. Make plans now to see Rayburn Cloud today at Cloud Auto Sales, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon, and like us on Facebook at Cloud Auto Sales, 597-3273 for Cloud Auto Sales.
Two things you can always depend on here at Cloud Auto Sales. That's a good deal, and that I'm going fishing one day this week.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College wants to help put you to work. Our programs in business, health, industrial, and public service will train you for the jobs available today. GNTC offers schedules in day, evening, and online classes at 5 campus locations with financial aid options too. You are sure to find a career path that works for you with our variety of degrees, diplomas, and certificates available. Visit us in person or on the web at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your career begins here.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We're here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope. Randy's Country Kitchen, open at the foot of Sand Mountain on Highway 136 West in Trenton. Open Monday through Thursday 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday till 10, and now open on Sunday 10:30 to 3:30. Don't miss the regular buffet every day and the famous seafood buffet on Friday night 4 p.m. to close. Pizza, strombolis, and roasted chicken. Still available at Randy's Country Kitchen. And deliveries available too at 657-5330. Randy's Country Kitchen, Highway 136 West at the foot of Sand Mountain in Trenton.
At Gross Furniture in Trenton, Georgia, you get the savings, the selection, and the satisfaction of getting the furniture you deserve at the prices you want. Come in, relax, and take your time. Our staff can assist you with the entire process, from expert advice to professional delivery. That's because Gross Furniture is local and treats you with honesty. Just north of the Courthouse Square on Highway 11 in Trenton. Gross Furniture, the home furnishing store that offers you more.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN, and visiting today with Captain Chambers, who is over the detention facility at the Dade County Detention Facility. And, of course, Sheriff Ray Cross. We appreciate him coming on, being on the show with us week after week as we talk about various aspects of law enforcement. Well, we've talked about a bunch of not so good stuff the first part of the program. I want to go now to just recently had another Citizens Academy. We're going to show that. Alex is here. And another successful Citizens Academy.
Yeah, very successful. Evan, this is our fourth one. Just finished up last week with our 10-week course. Now they're into their 3 bonus classes, and this evening we're going to be at the high school doing vehicle pullovers, which is they're going to really like this. It's real hands-on. It shows what officers do on traffic stops, and especially even felony takedowns and stuff. So they're going to really enjoy that.
Well, how many folks did you have in this one? It looks like several there. We're looking at the Mountain Valley Independent at discoverday.com. So if you want to read that article and see the folks that have just graduated, you can. But how many folks did you have?
Yeah, we had close to 20. I think 17, 18, somewhere in there. So it's one of the biggest classes we had so far. And I tell you, most of them are there at every class.
You know, you talk about it looks there it's the 4th annual Citizens Academy. Is this something you're going to continue to try to do one every year?
Oh yes, sure are. Like I say, this is our 4th one. People's already asked me about one when the next one's coming up. I've had 2 or 3 already asked, so we're going to plan another one probably in the fall. So be looking forward to it and getting ready for it, and we'll get you signed up.
All the aspects of law enforcement. A couple of great things that I think comes from these type classes is the fact that, especially maybe somebody young that's just got out of high school, if they're looking for maybe a career in law enforcement, this was an excellent way for them to be able to come and kind of test the waters.
It is. And one of the best classes they liked was the one with Captain Chambers over here with the jail. They loved taking the tour of the jail. That and the 911 center, that was 2 of the best classes that they say they liked. So that gives them, when they take that tour through that jail, that gives them another spark to get them interested in law enforcement.
Well, I know that law enforcement, they not a good note, but I don't know if you saw the article over the weekend in the Chattanooga Times Free Press that there was 2,700 troopers applied.
Yeah.
And 37 graduated.
Yeah, the trooper school is very tough. They weed them out pretty quick. And we talked with the lieutenant here a while back. I know my major did about, they'll run 100 troopers through down in Georgia at Forsyth, and only graduate like 20 or 30. So that's how bad they cut them. They want the best of the best, but it's this very tough academy.
Well, I mean, the article was talking about. I may try to in the next break pull that up because I thought that was very, very eye-opening the way that folks are now as far as commitment. You've got to be committed to being law enforcement because, I mean, when you leave in the morning on your shift, you don't know what you're going to encounter, whether you work in a detention facility or you work out on the road, or you don't know what's going to happen during that 8-hour or 12-hour shift that you're going to be working. You don't know when you're going to get to come home.
Right. In law enforcement now, it's not just a job like it used to be. Now it's a profession, and we try to make the officers as professional as they can be, even starting in the jail. It's very strict back there working there because you're dealing with human lives, and we try to instill that professionalism in them, not only on the job but off the job also. They need whatever they do in their personal lives reflects back on the sheriff's office. So.
I don't think students, kids in high school, early college, or at any level actually realize that the things that you do, whether it's you get caught up with the wrong crowd or you post something you shouldn't on social media, well, it may or may not affect what type of job or a promotion you get somewhere down the road.
Right, it sure can. It'll follow you the rest of your life. So we try to have high standards for our employees, and we'll have a stack of applications 3 or 4 inches thick, and we get down to 1 or 2 applicants that we really look at seriously hiring.
On the Citizens Academy too, also, you mentioned the younger generation coming through, but also the sheriff's office and the jail is the two largest budgets in the county. You know, and time after time, when we do the jail portion, you know, it's almost automatic that the participants are deer in the headlight, and they just come to you and they say, well, we had no idea all that went on, you know, because preconceived notion, you drive down the road and all you see is a brick building that's taking a lot of your tax money. But you know, you get into the meat of the matter and you break it down. Here's what we do, here's why we do it, here's who requires it, and you know, all of it costs money.
Kevin, as a matter of fact, I was at Post Cafe eating breakfast this morning, and one of the guys that went through earlier, he said, you know, I asked me if I was going to start another academy, and I said, yeah, probably in the fall, and he said, I never realized what all went on in the sheriff's office that I just didn't realize until I went through that class. So it's just very alarming to some to realize what all we do.
We're excited to put it on. It's information, you know, and before you go out and form an opinion based on something that you might see, you know, it's good information, it's solid information.
Well, I think it makes you better citizens. Absolutely. It makes you keen in on certain things that you might look at differently.
Right.
You know.
And it'll stay with you, because you can go home now after going through that academy and watch cops on TV, and you'll think, well, now I understand, you know, what's going on there. So that they wouldn't have if they didn't go through the academy.
I've before been going down the road and I've told my wife, I said, well, there's a drug interdiction guy. Mm-hmm. He said, well, how you know that? I said, I just know that's who they are. Yeah. you know what to start spot and look and, you know, and what's going on. And you'll pick that kind of stuff up when you go through the Citizens Academy.
Right.
And you know what's going on. I did find that article, then I wanted to, it said 2,700 men and women applied to be Georgia State Troopers last year. 30 passed a variety of evaluations and completed necessary training to join the force. Georgia State Patrol Commander Mark McDonald, it's a reflection of a different generation and a reflection of a snapshot of who we are.
Well, that's a low percentage of people that graduate.
You know, really, several cadets, he said, quit during the training because they were not physically fit to continue. Also, some of them were not. He went on to say they didn't take us serious. They don't have the heart, and some of them they just quit. They just think there again. You know, we're getting to the point that a lot of folks think that we're supposed to give them something. You got to earn it. You got to work for it.
That's true. And the men and women in law enforcement do earn it. I mean, they go through the police academy, and then they go out on the streets, and it's a job that's earned every day.
Speaking of that, when we come back, you got some brand new sheriff deputies that we're going to be seeing on the road. We'll talk to you about that. We'll take another break. You're watching Sheriff Talk here on KWN. Back right after this.
Wholesale and Salvage Grocery, now open off Alabama Highway 73 in Bryant, behind Moore Funeral Home. Check out our super deals on paper products, canned goods, health and beauty aids, cereal, and name brand laundry detergent. Enjoy new items including baby supplies and dog food. Yes, we're on a dead-end street, but the values are endless. Open Wednesday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 11 to 3. BBS Wholesale and Salvage Grocery off of Alabama Highway 73 on County Road 717 in Bryant.
Cabins to Castles is your home furnishing superstore. Now in our new location on Highway 136 West behind the Kangaroo, Cabins to Castles has everything you need to furnish your home. Bedroom and dining room suites, recliners, accessories, and more. Choose from name brands including Ashley, Catnapper, $1 Million Rustic, Coaster, and the Duck Dynasty line. Cabins to Castles, open Monday through Friday 8:30 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 4 at their new location, Highway 136 West behind the Kangaroo, just off I-59 in Trenton.
Home is where the heart is. Friday night in our area is made for football, and KWN-TV is making it happen. Every Friday night, join KWN-TV as we present a Friday night football game of the week, highlighting games from the 2015 season from all the local teams we cover. Make your plans for football on Friday nights with KWN-TV's Friday Night Football. Friday nights at 9 Eastern on KWN-TV.
Hey, Barn, Aunt Bee don't get around as good as she used to, and she's in need of a lip chair. Well, Andy, you gotta nip it in the bud. Comfort Gallery has catnapper lip chairs in stock with free delivery and setup. Catnapper reclining sofas in leather, designer fabrics, and even camouflage. Catnapper rocker recliners starting at $269. Hey, Andy, I just been over to Comfort Gallery. They also have England sofas by Lazy Boy. Queen-size pillow top mattress sets now $299. King-size sets just $399. Is that a fact? Surprise, surprise, surprise! They now have free 1-year layaway and 6 months same as cash. And listen up, Andy. For the credit challenge, they now offer no credit check payment plans. Located in Kimball, Tennessee in the Old Hills building. That's Comfort Gallery Mattress and Furniture, open 7 days a week. Y'all go by there and see Gary.
Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street in Kimball. Free delivery and setup, 90 days same as cash, and easy payment plans. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 5. Telephone 423-837-3000.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. Talking a little bit about, I was reading a little bit more about the article that the Chattanooga Times Free Press had about the trooper school in the state of Georgia. Said they're running, 2/3 of the state of Georgia are running with less troopers than they actually need because they need more people to join. It's not because of the pay. The starting pay is in the article it says starting pay is $35,000, but the guys just don't want to. The guys and ladies don't want to be committed. Just according to the article that we're reading, they don't like the idea of people yelling at them. And I'm just reading the article. The first 4 weeks they are captive 24/7. They don't get to go home. They don't get to call home. But twice during the 4 weeks, they can't watch TV. They can't read. They can't read newspapers. They can't do anything but train. And it's total culture shock.
Well, I kind of go back and think about our veterans, that went overseas and they got shipped out to different places and different ports, and they don't see their families for 6 months or more sometimes, and they're only away a couple months or so. So,
I don't get it either. I mean, 2,700. This was the article. It was in Sunday's paper. If anybody wants to look at it and read it, I just thought that was just something. The commander of the Georgia State Patrol, it's a reflection of a different generation and a reflection of a snapshot of where we are. That's the unfortunate thing, and you can put that in different aspects of life. It's not just in law enforcement.
Right.
You've got you got some new. Speaking of training and completing training and being post certified, you got some new officers.
I do. I've got 2 that we just sent to the academy. And they come out of the jail with Captain Chambers, and they graduated last Friday. I went down to graduation and watched them graduate. So there'll be a couple of certified officers that we have now at the office that we sent through the jail.
Now you try, unless just something happens and you hire an officer that's already post certified, you try to bring them on through the detention facility, where they have to go through and become a certified detention officer.
Yeah, we're trying our best to get them through our jail. We got a few more that we're looking at to send, hopefully in future classes. But when you do that, they started out in a jail and they worked there a year or two, and they know how to handle the jail atmosphere and the situations that come about back there. And that gives them a little foothold to go through the academy and gives them a little experience, also. So that's what we're trying to do.
Well, I mean, your detention officers actually are one-on-one with prisoners, and often, all the time in the intake where, the officer brings in someone that they've arrested and detained, then the detention officer takes that person and runs them through the booking process, if you will. So that gives them the opportunity to interact with a prisoner, and to know what the prisoner may be capable of doing, and so when they do get out and they're not confined in four walls, they have a little bit better understanding of how to handle a prisoner.
Well, not only do they deal with irate inmates back there, they also deal with people with mental problems, medical problems, all kind of aspects of what they're going to deal with on the road when they get out as a deputy. So that's a good atmosphere for them to be in before we put them on the road.
Now, the detention post-training for it, how many weeks is it now?
It's 11 weeks now.
11 weeks. No, I'm talking about for the detention. Is it?
Oh, the detention. I'm sorry.
officer?
The jail school is 2 weeks, and that's after 6 months of employment.
You have to be there 6 months to be able to go and then go get certified.
Within the 6 months.
Oh, you have to go within 6 months. And then 11 weeks is, so an officer, if they went through both, has 13 weeks of training before they ever have the opportunity to be out on patrol by themselves.
Well, no, actually more than that. They'll have that 2 weeks when in the jail. They'll have the 11 weeks. And then once they graduate the academy, there's a 6-week period where they go out with an FTO, a field training officer, and they'll have to ride with him for 6 weeks before they're ever put out by themselves. So there's a lot of training that goes on. So once they go through the academy, which is their basic training, then they're put out with their field training officer, which is actually on the streets, and they ride with him or her for six weeks and get more training on the road, on hands, as being a road officer.
Captain Chambers, you were talking about the detention facility. Of course, we just went through the budget process, and currently, as a matter of fact, this week the commission is approving the budget. Had the first hearing last week, got another one coming up later on this week. It takes quite a bit of money to be able to operate a detention facility. It's the second or third largest budget item that the county has to go through, and I'm talking about the jail itself. I can't remember if the sheriff's department's actually a little bit more than the actual jail, but one of the two is second and third, or first and second rather, of the top budget items that the county has to expend. It's a lot of expense running a jail.
Yeah. Fortunately, of course, the sheriff's side is the largest budget.
You notice he said fortunately. Yeah, I don't know. You don't like being number one in that category.
The jail is the second. Fortunately, we was looking at had seen some changes in the insurance. There were some changes that took place. We was able to absorb some of that money through payroll. So hopefully, we're still working and striving to, bring that number up for, a detention officer and for the staff to be able to retain them inside the jail.
And Evan, like I say again, too, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Captain, but we stayed within budget again this time, and especially after even giving raises, and still came in under budget. So we're doing great with the office so far without any unexpected things like natural disasters or some real astronomical medical expenses in the jail. We've been real fortunate and real blessed to come in that budget area.
Well, as the quality of applicants, are you seeing problems with the people that apply for jobs within the jail? I mean, we talked about with the Georgia State Patrol.
Right.
They're definitely seeing. I mean, that's not even a close percentage-wise. The amount of people that apply based on getting through your process.
The being able to pass a drug screening has been an issue in the past. Having the ability to complete the application from A to Z and have everything done before you submit it has been a problem in the past. And then, the pay where it is, especially where it has been, you just don't draw the best quality people into those kind of jobs. The advantage is, the county does have a good medical insurance, and that's one of the perks that we pull on. And then again, that insurance has got to mean something to somebody.
The work schedule too. I would say that's probably one of the benefits. Tell us a little bit about your work schedule.
A few years ago, we was on the same schedule with Road Patrol. It's 2 days on. Well, actually, it's you work 2 days through the week, and every other weekend. A poll was taken, and we the staff decided to try the 7 on, 7 off. Once we tried that schedule, my entire staff loves it. There's been no talk of switching back to the other schedule. I mean, you come in, you work a full week, and you're off a full week. So you work 2 weeks a month, and you're off 2 weeks a month.
These are 12-hour shifts, right?
12-hour shifts, yes. It gives them the opportunity to have employment elsewhere if they want to. And then, of course, I have some that just kick back and enjoy the family and the grandkids, on their off week. And, after you're off for 7 days in a row, it feels like you've been off. Mentally, physically, you're rested, you're ready to come back to work, instead of it being just a constant grind and you've only hit 2 days off and here we go again.
Guys, we've got about 2 minutes before we wrap up this week. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. We began talking about the drugs that is continuing to be a problem, and then, of course, into law enforcement. As we wrap things up, is there anything, Sheriff, you want to talk about, or we haven't been able to discuss so far?
Well, I just want to thank the voters again for instilling me the trust that they have for re-electing me as sheriff. I appreciate that very much. And we're trying to do the best we can with the we're talking about hiring people and stuff like that. We try to look for the best candidates that we can, because I'm putting these people out here protecting them on a daily basis, and I want the best candidates we can find, for a deputy to put out here to help protect these people. And we'll continue to do that. And our application process, we have a very lengthy application that's filled out, and we do some very good background checks as far as getting these people hired.
Well, I didn't ask you, Captain Chambers, but do you have any openings?
We currently have one opening, and I've got 2 applicants on my desk that we're looking hard. But if somebody,
we got about less than a minute, but how could they apply for a job?
You can download the application from dadesheriff.com, or you can come by the sheriff's office, get the application, complete it in its entirety, turn it in, and we retain applications for 1 year.
For 1 year. Captain Chambers over the Dade County Detention Facility, and of course Sheriff Ray Cross with the Dade County Sheriff's Department, our sheriff here. We appreciate you being here on this edition of Sheriff Talk, and invite you back next week for another Sheriff Talk right here on KWN TV.
You've been watching Sheriff Talk, live from the studios of KWN TV7, all around the tri-state area, as we give you information that you can use concerning law enforcement. Join us again next week for another episode of Sheriff Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7.